as this storm at around midnight popped up, came off the foothills, rolled right into the Denver metro area. The pink you see right here, the deep reds, that's the hail-producing part of the storm, and it came down from Littleton down to Highlands Ranch. Parker and the Pinery getting hit hard, Parker getting in on the action, and then this storm just came right across I-25, 2 1/4 Aurora, and then it just sort of faded out after that. But that was a pretty impressive storm cell. There were 2 waves, and that was the last wave. This is how much rain actually fell. This is the estimate off of our radar, and there was a bullseye indicated out here east of Parker at around 7.5 inches. That would be a very localized amount, but 4 1/4 around CastleRock, Castle Pines, north of CastleRock, up around I-25. 2 to 3 inches out of the west side of town down towards Kent Carroll and C-470, and less rain fell up around DIA. So all those storms are gone. We're done with those for now, but we could see another round pop up this afternoon, like we were saying, around 4 p.m., 5 p.m. 62 right now in the Denver area, 50s, 60s right now over the plains. Here's how to plan the day out. So at noon, partly cloudy and 80. By the evening rush, couple of storms around the area, and then they're going to move east. 82 at that point. By 9 o'clock tonight, starting to clear out in 74. Pinpoint 7-day forecast, then it really heats up Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Look at that, a couple of 90s thrown in there, Jackie, and it looks dry at that point. But
yeah, the weekend looks good.
Some places are pretty hard hit, though, this morning.
Exactly. We have some more incredible video from Sky 2 that was captured earlier of roads flooded. Look at this truck trying to make its way through high water at Cherry Creek State Park. You can't even see the road at all, covered in water. They just got inches of rain overnight, right?
Driving in Cherry Creek Reservoir at that point. No,
basically,
it's
right?
like 4, 5, 6 inches of rain. It's got to go somewhere, and so what you're seeing here is a flash flood, and we never recommend what he's doing right there. If you were in any sort of a passenger car, you wouldn't make it through that.
All right, and then check out this road covered in water as well. Sky 2 overhead earlier around Piccadilly. 200 Piccadilly shut down. Gun Club Road closed from Exposition to Alameda, but Chris, just that water, it's just crazy. It's moving so fast.
The low-lying areas catch it, and it floods, and then it has to flash flood over things like roads like that.
All right, thanks so much, Chris. And let's check on some of the travel times right now. I-25 looking a little bit better. Now just a 7-minute delay heading south from I-70 to I-225, and then an I-225 heading south from Parker Road to I-25, just a 5-minute delay, and just seeing a 5-minute backup on the Turnpike heading west from I-25 to CU Boulder. And that's your weather and traffic.
The severe weather is likely to blame for a house fire in Parker. A home on Summit Ridge Place caught fire around midnight. One firefighter was actually injured while putting out the flames. He was taken to the hospital as a precaution, but only had minor injuries. And in Larimer County, firefighters are making good progress on the Stewart Hole fire. That fire started Monday afternoon by lightning. It burned 227 acres and is now 80% contained. Road restrictions were lifted last night. So far, the fire has cost more than $320,000 to fight.
An Aurora mom is now telling her side as to how her child got out of his car seat. Seems like everyone saw this picture. It shows a 3-year-old boy in the back seat, but not in a car seat, instead sitting next to one where a gas can is instead belted in. The child's mother is now explaining how all of this happened.
He could push the red button and shimmy out down.
Well, Ramirez says she didn't realize that her young son had slipped out of his seat into the next seat, and then a passenger in the front seat of the car had then taken a gas can that was on his lap and put it into the child's safety seat. This all happened as a policeman pulled him over.
I'm sorry if I did offend anyone. I'm not a bad mom.
He's just really smart. Like, he doesn't like it. He likes to be like a big boy in a regular seatbelt.
Well, Ramirez did get 3 tickets for violating restraint laws.
A Massachusetts judge is sending a big message to drivers.
The basic lesson of this case is for people to keep their eyes on the road. To keep their eyes on the road.
What the defendant did that day was played Russian roulette. People do it every day.
A Massachusetts teenager is sent to prison for causing a fatal crash by texting while driving. In February of 2011, 55-year-old Donald Boley Jr. was killed when Aaron DeVoe crossed into oncoming traffic and crashed into Boley's car head-on. The judge sentenced DeVoe to 2.5 years in prison, but he'll only serve 1. He'll be on probation for several years, and he will be 33 years old before he can drive again. This is becoming such an issue.
Yeah, it's obviously common, and we always refer to it, I think, as something that belongs to teenagers, but it doesn't.
Oh, plenty of adults, you see them, driving down the highway.
Busy, instead of driving. Daybreak continues. We're going to talk about xeriscaping. Now, that does not mean zero landscaping. It means landscaping in a way that can reduce your water usage, saving resources and, of course, money. How you can xeriscape your own yard coming up.
lot of moisture in the air from yesterday's storms. Ground is pretty soaked in areas. Last night, the lightning was out. Andy Kilgore took this shot. Pretty cool stuff. Cloud to cloud and cloud to ground lightning there, and the CDOT plows were out. There was just so much hail that accumulated on roadways around the Palmer Divide. They had to plow it off, and this is a big pile of it in somebody's yard. And South Denver, I mean, that's just so much hail. We could see another round of a couple severe storms. Not as many as yesterday, but anywhere from Denver in this orange shading out to the eastern plains. That's the outlook. And between 4 p.m. and 10 p.m., I think these storms would be popping up around the area. And then here it is on our Pinpoint Futurecast. Here's how it plays out. The radar satellite quiet at noon, but then around 4 p.m., a few little areas of storms, Denver north. But as they roll east, that's when they grow this afternoon. At around 8 o'clock tonight, they would probably be severe at this point from Monument out towards Last Chance and then up towards Sterling and I-76. So something that we'll watch for later today. And then, Jackie, everything clears out by tomorrow morning.
All right, thanks, Chris. And I-25, probably our biggest jam now. You can see crawling around Denver as we take a live look from the cam at 20th. Drivers moving at reduced speeds here in the 20s and the 30s. A little bit of stop and go. According to our time saver traffic system, we're seeing about a 6-minute delay heading south from I-70 to I-225, and then on I-225 in the southbound lanes, we're still in the red. From Parker Road to I-25, a 7-minute